Okay guys, Sajuk here with my Vortex SS. I'm going to give you a quick review of this one. I have run it, I have tested it out, and I found very little problems with this vehicle. I did have to cut the section here for better flow. I was getting a lot of buildup of air and it was affecting my performance. So by doing this cutout and cutting this up here as well, I get better airflow and easier access to the glow starter and the pull start, and obviously my fuel. Now aside from this, the car itself is a great buggy. I took out the filter because I'm cleaning it, but this buggy is fantastic. Not buggy, I should really get used to saying trucky, because technically this is a trucky not a buggy. And as you can see, I have run it. I haven't really cleaned it out. The engine is fairly new. I broke it in on Saturday, and there's plenty of good compression. Yep, ran it good, and it's just perfect. In terms of the quality of the material, I have to say it's pretty durable. There are areas where there's obviously softness, which should be required in case of impact. There's other areas that are stiffened by using a combination of steel here, alloy, aluminum, and plastic as well for durability. The weight factor of this vehicle, it's actually very light. I really like it because of that. It's very light. The engine is a 118. It's an 18. Sorry about this, an 18, and it performs very well. I did run into a few problems with the airflow not idling correctly due to an air leak, so I had to use some gasket sealant silicone. So you might want to pick one of these up at your local AutoZone or whichever parts zone that sells stuff for you that's for auto. I'm using 27B gasket maker. It works very good. You want to use lightly on the bottom here and on the other side too, obviously, and then you put it all back together and tighten it up, and that should alleviate some of the problem, if not remove all of it. I have noticed some fuel leaks when I'm running. I noticed that there's a little hole here, and it appears that it's there in case it overflows, I guess, or pops a little bit open, which, to be honest, for this, there's not a lot of pressure pushing down on this. So you gotta make sure to lock it in there. Make sure to press down on it when you put your your gas in there. In terms of the servos are pretty decent. It gets the job done, and I haven't had any problems with them. I'm not going to replace them because of that. I do recommend you replace the remote, simply because I don't know if those remotes are reliable compared to a Spectrum. Aside from this, I changed the campers, obviously, and I gave them a -1 on both sides, and haven't changed the rears. I kept them the way they were, factory settings. But like I said, this is a great buggy for beginners and advanced as well. It's just fun to have. However, there is a few things I have to point out. There is a nut here. Let's see if I can zoom in. There you go. You could, oops. Oh boy. There we go. You see inside there is a hub. A hub. And what this does is it holds the wishbone along with the differential seal. It all lines up, right? And what that does is prevent it. If that's loose, for example, you won't get four-wheel drive. It's that simple. You won't get four-wheel drive. So you have to make sure there's a little knob there, usually a little like a little screw. So let me zoom out here. A little screw about this size, okay, that goes in there, and you got to make sure that's really tight, and make sure to use something like thread lock to hold it in, or else you're gonna end up it falling out, and you don't want that. You might have to do that for all four of them. There should be one here, here, and here. These tools are very difficult to get to unless you take this whole part apart. Luckily I haven't had any problems with these, just the front one. And I had to replace the screw because something was wrong with that screw, because it wasn't touching all the way to the metal of the differentials. There's a metal that comes out here, and that screw is supposed to hold it in there. Why it wasn't all one shaft, I don't know. It was a design flaw, I don't know, but I think that's stupid. And anyways, you need to put that in there, make sure that's really nice and tight, and make sure it doesn't move. It should not, the little metal circle thing that you kind of can see from here, make sure that is nice and tight so that it doesn't move this way. It has to be nice and flat that way. Well, that's my review of this one. I have to say it is a very great buggy. I give it about an 8 out of 10. Buggy, I keep saying, I should say trucky, I'm sorry about that. But it's my first trucky. I'm used to having, you know, Nitro TC3 over there and my beat up buggy that I never really bothered fixing, which I should fix. Anyhow, that's it for my review of the Vortex SS, and I will show you guys some videos of me running it around blah blah. I hope you guys enjoy it.